interrupt you for a second? Yeah. Because the CEO of the MTA says that 1% of subway suspects are responsible for more than 20% of the crime because of New York's bail reform laws, which allows them to go back out there and commit more crimes.
I'll get to bail in 1 second. I'm going to answer this one.
There was just a crime in Long Island where body parts were found all over Long Island.
4 people released without bail after being charged in connection with body parts found across Long Island were back in court today. A judge released Alexis Nieves and Jeffrey Mackey, once again.
They had 4 suspects. They let them go. And now they're out there still. So what is the deal here? It sounds insane to me.
Dismembering a corpse and hiding a corpse after dismembering it. Not bail eligible. Not a serious crime. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like, when Joy Behar outlined that case, I was like, she's crazy. This isn't a thing. This isn't real. This isn't real. So I looked it up. It's real, guys. It's real.
Now, after the death of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement, people looked to bail and bail reform because they believed bail was racist. So the politicians in New York State, like Governor Kathy Hochul, instituted bail reform, essentially eliminating cash bail unless you're charged with a serious violent felony.
Hundreds of offenses such as stalking, grand larceny, assault as a hate crime, and second-degree manslaughter will no longer be eligible for bail or pretrial detention.
They eliminated bail, but they never put in the safeguard that we need of allowing a judge to assess dangerousness. And the result is we've got some glaring loopholes that are going to go into effect tomorrow.
CBS 2 urban affairs expert Mark Peters says this sets New York apart from other states, such as New Jersey, which have already eliminated cash bail.
So that somebody can walk up to someone on the street and punch them in the face, and if they haven't done lasting physical injury, there's no bail available. They'll be let out that day. They can go and punch somebody the next day.
Now, just like you heard, soon as bail reform went into effect, you then started hearing stories like this. This guy who had over 100 arrests for shoplifting and released every time under bail reform.
New numbers from Mayor Adams tonight point to a crime wave by a small group of so-called career criminals. They've racked up hundreds of arrests since the bail laws were rewritten, and these criminals are still on the streets.
To further press the case of the so-called violence of the few, the NYPD released a list of the 10 worst of the worst. Number 1 on the list was a man identified as Harold Gooding, age 53. He has 101 career arrests, 88 since bail reform was enacted, 15 convictions, including 3 felonies and 2 violent felonies. He has failed to appear in court at least 14 times.
Now, if you think that guy was crazy, look at this maniac who goes around assaulting people and how he keeps getting released without bail.
Aside from the unprovoked sucker punch captured on camera, Wright's arrests include charges of assaulting a police officer, of assaulting traffic agents, attacking a 72-year-old, and also attacking a father walking with his family. In just one day alone last May, he was arrested for 2 separate assaults and also for shattering the window facade of a storefront.
Now, to be fair, Governor Kathy Hochul tried to strengthen the bail reform laws, but it still had some major loopholes, like letting these 4 people go who were found to have dismembered 2 bodies and put the body parts all over places in New York State. Check it out.
4 people arrested in connection with those human remains found scattered across Long Island walked out of court free until their next court appearance. Also today, prosecutors released disturbing new details about what they found inside the home where 3 of those defendants lived. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon live at the courthouse in Central Iceland. Sonia?
Sandra, all 4 of the suspects face the exact same 2 charges: tampering with evidence and concealing a human corpse, or as the prosecutor today put it more bluntly, hacking off limbs and scattering them. None of the suspects has been charged with killing the 2 victims. That means they are free to go until they're due back here or until they face more charges while investigators gather more evidence, which at this point is likely to be presented to a grand jury. The four suspects in the case of the scattered body parts hid their faces and dodged questions. 33-year-old Alexis Nieves, 40-year-old Amanda Wallace, 44-year-old Stephen Brown, and 38-year-old Jeffrey Mackey appeared in criminal court and walked out with monitoring bracelets. Three of them live at the home on Railroad Avenue in Amityville police searched Monday night and Tuesday morning. A prosecutor described the evidence at that house, including cutting tools like a meat cleaver and traces of human remains.
Now, these lunatics were let out on bail reform, but I need to show you exactly what happened, what led to even this arrest. So on February 29th, an arm was found by some kids walking to school, and they reported it to the police, and then the cops found more body parts nearby. Then the police department brought in some cadaver dogs who found more body parts in the area. Police then found 2 severed heads in the park on the same day, prompting speculation that this could be a gang hit. Now, it seems like an attempt was made to stop police from being able to identify the body parts because the fingertips from the bodies were missing. Now, police were able to identify the victims, and it led them to a house where they found Stephen Brown, 44, Jeffrey Mackey, 38, Amanda Wallace, 40, and Alexis Nieves, 33, who were homeless living at the home. Now, when authorities entered the home, they found a heap of evidence, including body parts, meat cleavers, butcher knives, and a huge amount of blood. Matter of fact, there was so much blood that the sinks, showers, and drains were rendered inoperable. Now, let's just keep it real. You got 2 bodies chopped up, body parts all over the town, and you go to this house and there's a treasure trove of evidence with blood and dead bodies. So your first question should be, why are these people out on bail? Well, that's the question that Governor Hochul is going to be asked by Joy Behar on The View.
Judges now have discretion. They can look at the whole issue. They can look at whether a gun was involved. Was there an order of protection? We have to protect the victims of domestic violence. My mother was a champion for victims of domestic violence.
But there was just a crime on Long Island where body parts were found all over Long Island. They had 4 suspects. They let them go. And now they're out there still. So what is the deal here? It sounds insane to me.
Though the crime that was brought was not what was bail eligible. Yes, murder is. Yes, conspiracy to commit murder is. Yes, assault is bail eligible. All those are. I know that the DA is working really hard with the Suffolk County Police Department to build the case they need to bring the charges that are necessary. The charges he brought, he did not have enough evidence at time to hold them.
So you can't hold them?
Not on the charges he brought. But those are low-level charges. They really weren't. And we can work to make those bail eligible in the next session, but I changed the law. It only went into effect last May, by the way. So we've had a real drop in recidivism since I've been governor. Everyone talks about this, down 45%.
Now, I've been saying New York State's bail reform laws are insane and will not work, but they're going to say I'm a right-wing lunatic, so you can't trust me. So here's a left-wing lunatic who's going to tell you something very similar. Anna Gasparian from the Young Turks.
Dismembering a corpse and hiding a corpse after dismembering it. Not bail eligible, not a serious crime. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like when Joy Behar outlined that case, I was like, she's crazy. This isn't a thing. This isn't real. This isn't real. So I looked it up. It's real, guys. It's real. Listen, if being on the left means supporting this, then I'm not on the left, and I'm okay with that. So let me give you the details of the case.
It doesn't mean that.
Okay, I don't know. Let me give you the details.
On the left. We're all on the left. We don't want people dismembering folks getting released. Only a couple of lunatic.
Some do.
I know. What I was in the middle of saying is only a couple of lunatic activists are like, yeah, we're pro dismemberment guys being let go. Okay, whatever. You don't represent the left at all.
Dismembered bodies. It's so unfair to put them in prison.
So she said it all herself. You literally have people chopping up bodies, putting them all over town, getting caught with the body parts and knives and blood all over the house. And guess what? Goes in front of a judge and says, you know what? This isn't bail eligible. We're gonna let you go on this one. We'll give you an ankle monitor because we know that works. And you could just go and live your life, and we expect you to come back to court when we tell you to come back to court. Even though you're homeless, even though you've been dismembering bodies, we're going to let you go. That's bail reform in New York State. Now, this is the reason why I had to get the hell out of there, because that is insanity. And for those who live there, I feel sorry for you, but you live in a place where the politicians have just gone insane. Let me know where I'm wrong in the comment section. If you believe these 4 homeless people who've dismembered bodies should be walking free in the streets, we just have to agree to disagree, because I think it's ridiculous. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.